2025 is looking to be a fine year for tabletop role-playing games. With the OGL Debacle of 2023, the TTRPG realm was shook to its core, inspiring third-party companies to branch out and create their own systems. So, they aren't bound to the licensing of another company. This has led, of course, to a massive influx of crowd-funded projects and has become a staple practice in supporting the systems you love just right out the gate. Just this month, Shadowdark: The Western Reaches, it was fully funded in just 7 seconds. So with all the projects announced and pushed for backing 2 years ago, they're now coming to fruition this year. Those devs are releasing. And with that, here's the TTRPG releases of this year that I'm most looking forward to. Matt Colville is a cool Uncle Iroh of tabletop gaming. He showed us that people are magic, how easy it was to get up and running, and then taught a bunch of us everything that we know, but not everything he knows. Yep, that crafty, charismatic curator of characters and crew has amassed a menagerie of MCDM minds that the likes of the space has never seen. Okay, that's enough alliteration, but I'm also very proud of the fact that I managed to do that in one go. MCDM are rumoured to release their Draw Steel system in August this year, originally having a projected release of June 2025. Their playtest has already been released in June last year, and from all accounts, it is extremely straightforward system. It's more focused on weaving heroic tales than being bogged down in rules. However, some folks have said that calculation per turn has been a bit varied. Personally, that's no big deal for me. Draw Steel does have role-playing options. I will still use them. However, I will probably treat this entire game like a hack and slash. Either ways, I want to get my hands on it to give it a good go, and that's why it's number 1 on my list of games to try this year. Did he just say number 1? Yes, this is reverse order. We eat the meat before the potatoes on this channel, so number 1, what I want to try the most. Next up, Shadowdark: The Western Reaches. I didn't think I was going to mention it at the start and not want to give it a go. Okay, I am cheating a little since Shadowdark is already out and playable. It's available to play. The Western Reaches is more of an additional rules module with extras, with the anticipated release of November in this year. I haven't got a chance to play it, so it's on this list. Everything I've heard about this game, from the in and out, let's go 20-minute adventure, to pick up the character in mere minutes, 5e players praising it despite it not being as modern, to being rules focused rather than rules light. And I'm going to take a second to talk about rules focused rather than rules light, and why I think that's a good thing. Look, no denying, D&D is the gateway for a ton of people. It's the first one they hear of 99% of the time. However, the ratio of players to DMs is skewed because people panic the amount of rules out, over wanting to actually create their story with their friends. And to me, this is where Shadowdark comes in. It's less than 300 pages, the rules are straightforward, and who says you need to be in the Shadowdark the whole time? That's a gateway game. Earlier this year, I reviewed Free League's The Electric State. I called it the best beginner TTRPG for 2025. That has not changed. I think their Year Zero engine is great. What has been said about the movie is not reflective on this game and what the world of Simon Stalenhag has created. But I want to talk about this. Symbaroum Agrella. Full transparency, Free League did send me this copy, which, thank you Free League, I really appreciate it. This is stunningly pretty, but caveat, last year I grabbed the Free League Humble Bundle and Symbaroum was among the books in there, so I do own the Player's Codex, the full core rulebooks as well. I paid my own money! The world of Symbaroum is an amazing gothic dark adventure world. It has an extremely rich lore that reads like a story rather than a game setting, and if I were looking for a political faction focused game that still lets me cut loose in combat and adventure, this would be at the center of that Venn diagram. Agrella itself has a 3-part campaign. It expands on the lore and factions of the setting, and the Mandate of Joy, because Agrella is the city of eternal euphoria. The mandate makes sure there is eternal joy.
There's no war in Ba Sing Se.
It is an expansion, it doesn't offer the full rules. However, the full Symbaroum core set will likely pop up on sale again before the year's end, and it is a D20 rule under system, so it's very easy to pick up, and I wholly recommend you check it out. Darrington Press's Daggerheart. So in 2023, when Darrington Press announced Daggerheart, I was excited. I love Critical Role. Granted, I missed out on much of the last season, but that is because I started dedicating my time here. Like and subscribe. A system pioneered by some of the greatest role players actual play has to offer, built from cumulative experience, likely shaped to harness their vast audience, bringing on a couple seasoned game designers too. If nothing else, this was going to be an interesting new style of TTRPG. Then we got the playtests and some reviews. Now, this may seem bleak, but to be completely fair, if we were to base our entire reception of the game on these posts alone, then that's what it would be bleak. And these are the results of the Daggerheart playtest review top searches. If there is something that we can take from the amount of terrible first look reviews of video games this year, it's that you should always give things you have an interest in a go yourself. I'm not knocking the folks over at Rascal or the fantastic playtesters or anything, they do incredible work. Me, I'm going to give this a good go. I have a couple of friends who are also big Critical Role fans. They have been really enjoying Candela Obscura and Daggerheart playtests, and honestly, Daggerheart is also on their wishlist for this year too. Next up, let me ask you a question. What came first, the chicken or the starter set? Well, in July 2014, the 5th edition D&D starter set was released, almost 3 months before the core rules. This gave folks a chance to hop straight into the play, trimmed down no muck about rules, and to play an entirely new different system, all for less than 25 quid. It's a perfect little taster before forking out and grabbing the core rulebooks, expanding players, or giving the chance for players to expand their world of D&D. Okay, so that's a cool little look at the 2014 starter set, so why is this relevant in the year of our Lord Jason Carl 2025? Well, the 2024 core rulebooks are all out now, and this edition's starter set, Heroes of the Borderland, is scheduled for release in September. It still comes with an adventure, it comes with a basic rules booklet, and of course, dice. But something different. They've learned from the success of the Essentials kit and have added in little map tiles, tokens, item and player cards, and not only different contents, but a different setting. See, with 2024, it looks like WotC are trying to reintroduce the world of Greyhawk to our campaigns after a long stint in the Forgotten Realms. We all love the Forgotten Realms. It was a great setting. It gave us many amazing tales, gave us edition-bending quests and adventures, and gave us some of the most unique villains and storylines that we'll probably ever encounter in a TTRPG. But this means new interesting takes on monsters, subtle differences to magic, and of course, different lore. Speaking of different lore, did you know Greyhawk is where we first see Vecna? And you can see more about him in this hour-long video that I took about 2 months to make and put together, and I'd really appreciate it if somebody watched it. Anyway, I love the starter sets. I think they are always good value for money, and as D&D is the most well-known TTRPG, I look forward to seeing how they hook new players. Okay, a little bonus entry, and it's only because I've fallen hard for Vampire the Masquerade, which isn't releasing a new book this year. So let's shoehorn something in. Enemies of the Night is a rules expansion coming for Laws of the Night, the World of Darkness live-action roleplay. LARP is honestly something I've never tried, however, since checking out the VTM books, I have thrown myself much more into my characters and NPCs, and it's like I've crossed over from just saying a couple words as a character to actively putting my mindset to what the character wants and needs. And the people I play with have noticed, and I have gotten so many positive comments, and people really enjoying my way of playing now, so that's always good. So yeah, I just wanted to show a little appreciation here and highlight something that people might be interested in. So do check the World of Darkness out and their current backing campaigns. Folks, thanks for hanging out and watching. I really appreciate it. I am just back from an Irish TTRPG convention, which is AdventureCon, which I did a video on, and you can check that out next. Seriously, watching another one of my videos right after this one lets YouTube know I'm doing a good job, so I would appreciate it. Anyway, cheers folks, and see you next time. Take care.